Welcome back to another edition of Say Hey. As you can tell, I'm not Jose. Shout out to our guy. He got in a little trouble. I think he got arrested for some public indecency or something like that yesterday. But we're still here holding it down. Me and my guy Moose. Moose, how's it going today, my dude?
It's going all right, man. Dude. First off, it's just nice to be back here capping with one of my favorite guys in the entire industry, my boy Dabby Cab, here with everybody in the Pub Sports fam. LJ, I see you out there. Troy Torrance, Justin, let's go. Let's get a day.
Hell yeah, man. I see everybody in the chat already turning up. JW, Justin. I see Justin. He already dropped his stacks play of the day right here. Yelich over 1.5 bases, minus 110. There you go, my dude. Go get it today. Everybody in here, man, thanks for showing up. If you can, do us a favor, share the video, get it out, tweet it out, let everybody know we're still here. Even though Jose's not here, he's much missed, but we're going to do the best we can to keep this shit rolling, keep it crisp. We got a lot of games today, so let's go ahead and jump right into them. I did my best with the banners down there. I know it's not as colorful as when our guy Jose does it, but it's still there. You can still see it. For our first game today, we got the Cubs taking on the Yankees. Yankees are sitting at a minus 200 favorite with the total sitting at 8.5 here. We got Drew Smyly and Garrett Cole on the mound, so a good pitching matchup here. Smyly comes in 7-5 on the season with the 4.10 ERA, 76 strikeouts to the 30 balls. And then you got Garrett Cole on the other side, 8-2. 2.79 ERA, 118 strikeouts to only 33 walks. Great whip sitting at 1.14 here. As much as people like to hate Garrett Cole, he's been that guy this year for the most part. But this is an interesting pitching matchup, interesting game. I don't know if I like the Yankees being minus 200 with Smyly on the mound, but we'll see. What are you looking at here, Moose?
First off, the thing you have to look at when you talk about Drew Smyly is kind of the regression that he's been seeing over the last couple of months. He came out hot. He had that no-hitter that was broken up by one of the weirdest ways to break up a no-hitter with your catcher literally tackling you. But you see his ERA go from 3.09 in May, 5.81 in June, 7.36 in July. I mean, it's one start, 3 2/3, where he gave up 3 runs. But his home road split's pretty staggering. 5.36 ERA at home, a 3.08 ERA on the road. So he does pitch much better away from the friendly confines. Garrett Cole, you don't really need to go through too much. One thing that I should say about Smyly, his fly ball rate has been increasing. It's increased about 7% from his career average, meaning he's inducing a lot more fly balls. And you look at ballpark pal for today, there is a significant more amount of wind going on. It's about 28% increase in home run. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees were able to maybe get one out. It's kind of looking at the Yankee lineup without Judge, how Garrett Cole has just been dominant all year, and the Cubs bullpen. I'm not going to take a first 5, but I am on the full game under. I took an 8 last night. The line has moved to 8.5, so it's a better number if you want to get it. But I am on the under here full game. I will go with the Yankee bullpen here. I will trust the Cubs bullpen, which has been absolutely elite. Smyly, just give me 4 innings, like 3 runs or 2 runs or something like that. Give it to your bullpen. And Garrett Cole, I expect 7 innings from you. So let's get it done. I'm not going to do the first 5 just in case Smyly does give up a couple home runs in this home run weather. I like the full game under 8.5.
There you go. I'm sitting here watching. I'm proud of myself. I'm sitting here watching this clock. I think we got like an 8-minute timer before we can say anything like that's not, PG, or else you get in trouble. So I'm going to keep it under. But shout out to you guys in the chat. You guys are turning up right here. I see Jackie said Donaldson home run. Tom Leach likes the under. Rant said under. Jack said he's got a feeling it goes over. I don't have much of a feeling on this total, but one thing I do know is our guy BJ, who drops the motherfucking. Oh, shoot. I did so good almost.
You just referenced it.
Dadgummit. And I'm sitting here with more of them rolling through my head. I'm like, bite your tongue, Cab.
Don't do it. Hey, you tell people don't think of the purple elephant, and immediately you think of the purple elephant.
Right. That's how it works, right? Our guy BJ said he's all over the Yankees there. $1,000 bet on the Yankees. So there you go, man. There you go. What he said, 8-minute rule. You watched Sharpie's show before? I don't know. I thought there was an 8-minute rule, man. I thought you were supposed to not cuss for 8 minutes or something like that. So that's what I was trying to do. Obviously, I didn't make it, but I tried my best here. Anyways, you look at this one, man. the Yankees have won 5 of their last nine games, 4 of their last 6 home games. They've struggled offensively. This offense, we all know how this offense have been. They've scored 12 runs in their last 3 games. But like you said, Smiley's just kind of been regressing more and more as it goes. And I think this might be a spot where the Yankees can kind of turn up and get behind their ace on the mound. Smiley's given up 10 runs in his last 2 starts. And he's given up at least 2 runs in 3 of his last 5 starts against the Yankees here. So they're a team that usually gets to him. Cubs on their own have lost 4 of their last 6 games. And they've split their last 4 road games, 2-2 on the road. They're playing a little better offensively than the Yankees right now. They put up 16 in the last 3 games. But yeah, this is Cole on the mound. I think he can get to him. I think they struggle a bit. I think he'll probably keep Chicago in check. I don't like the price point at -200, but if I was going to make a bet here, it would probably be Yankees in the first 5. I'd probably just go ahead and lay the juice on it. That's where I'd be at. But I'm not betting this one. I do have plenty of action today, guys. I got 3 bets for you guys. Usually I keep my action low, but I'm sure Moose is going to have you'll have some say hey action, right?
Yep, I got you. I got plenty of stuff to go through.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, BJ put a good stat in there. He said Yankees are top 5 in baseball against lefties recently.
Which is surprising because you saw Judge go down like June 2nd or June 3rd. And if you do the splits versus lefties since that date, the Yankees 796 OPS, 196 ISO, in about 188 at bats. One thing that can be noted, the Yankees do not have a lot of experience facing lefties at home. Under 100 at bats in the last 2 months against lefties at home at Yankee Stadium. Batter's eye can be different, depending on what side of the window the ball is coming out of, if it's out the left window or right window. But they've faced lefties. They've had success against lefties. Who was it that just put it in there that said that they've been smashing lefties? It's absolutely true. It's more so when Judge is in the lineup, but even with him out of the lineup, they've still been very productive here against lefties, which is surprising. Not so much against righties, but I am surprised to see that they sustain a little bit of that production without Judge in the lineup.
I agree. Our guy Razor said he's on the over 8 in this.
I don't like hearing that one. I don't like hearing that, but hey.
I got action in that game too, BJ. Let's keep this God, look at me trying not to cuss. Let's keep this train rolling right along. Move on to our next game. As you can see, guys, I just put the number by whoever the favorite is and the total at the end. I did the best I could with the graphics. But we got Toronto coming in against Detroit, a -189 favorite. Total sitting at 8 right here on this one. This is an interesting game for me. It's definitely going to be a pass because I probably capped it towards the Tigers, actually, which I know sounds kind of interesting. But, Tigers actually have a winning run line record as underdogs. They're 38-34 this year in that situation. And the Blue Jays have a losing run line record as favorites, 24-38. So, that plays better to them. Detroit at home, they're a little bit better hitting team at home, hitting 242 as a team. Anywhere else, they're about 221. So, and they've had success. They've had success against Gausman earlier in the season. They had 2 long balls against him in that first game that he pitched against them. So, yeah, this is a spot where I'd probably look at the Tigers. I'm going to be off this game, but what do you got here, Moose?
Yeah, I'm off this one as well. It's Matt Manning's third start since coming back from the fractured foot. His first couple starts did not go great, 5 2/3. 3 hits, 2 runs, but 4 walks in that first game, and then came back in 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs. So you're giving up some bigger doubles and stuff like that, extra base hits. So I am not on this game. If anything, I wanted to pursue a Gausman K rate or Gausman K prop because the K rate for the Tigers, specifically at home, is up there. But it was priced out. I'm off this game. But if there's anything that I would try to find, I would maybe push the envelope a little bit on Gausman with the K prop.
I think I lost you for a second there. But our guy Rocco, shout out Rocco Rogers in the chat, man, our guy right there. He's on that K, over 7.5 Ks, -125. So that 125, is that what you're saying? Price?
No, I couldn't get a 125 on my book. It was like 138 or something like that, and that's too much. Once I get into that 130 range on a prop, prop bets are meant to be bet like around the lower end of the money line, or even money or something like that. If you're putting a -140, a -150 on a K prop, it's just kind of like what's pulling you away from the game and forcing you onto a prop if there's a better side or total that you can get on, especially if you're doing a pitching one. Just go to a team total under if that's where you're at. But you mentioned it. Detroit at home has been better, and Toronto offense on the road has been worse. I can see your angle on looking at Detroit, but I do think that if there was one spot I'd look at, it'd be a Gausman K.
Look, the way I do this for everyone is I cap it and I give my lean. If I'm not betting it, you can take what I say to heart if you want, but I'm not betting it. And if my money's not where my mouth is, it really shouldn't fucking matter what I say. I mean, that's how my opinion is with other people. If you're saying something but your money's not on it, I don't really care. BJ said Springer's out in this one. And shout out to Manoah for shoving yesterday. I think that's awesome that he came back and shoved. I wonder if they went and got him in a little better shape while he was out, because that was my biggest problem with Manoah.
What probably happened was as soon as he had that last game in the minors when he struck out 10 guys in 5 innings, it was probably Manoah and the manager going to the front office saying like, hey, he's ready. He's ready. He wants to get back out there. You coach, you know how this is. If there's a guy you want to succeed, if you feel like you see the first sign of success happening, you put them into an opportunity to build off of that. And I think that's what was going on with Manoah.
Yeah, especially with somebody like him, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, too. I got to get back to you guys.
The
Cub. Well, I'm not going to be able to say that name. The Cub, that's the start of your name. He said Vladdy's going yard today. Shout out to Jacqueline. Appreciate you showing up. Billy Briz in the chat. There's my guy. Make sure you guys check out Billy, Big Show, and MMA Locker Room's new podcast, The Locker Room Talk. It's a dope podcast.
There you go.
You can find it on all streaming platforms. But let's keep this shit rolling. I think we got a decent enough pace here. Coming into the third game of the day, we got the Orioles going against Minnesota here. The Twins are a minus 120 favorite. The over-under on this game is sitting at 8. Let me pull this up, pull some more on it up. See, I got minus 125. These lines, if they're not exact, guys, I'm sorry, but there's different numbers at different places. But we got Tyler Wells going against Sonny Gray here. Sonny Gray's been outstanding this year, 4-2 with the 2.5 ERA, 96 strikeouts to the 36 walks, 1.26 whip. Interesting enough, you look on the other side, Wells, the 0.9 whip is just outstanding. Not really what you'd expect to see with him. A 3.19 ERA is outstanding, but with a 0.9 whip, that's a little higher than what you'd expect. So maybe some positive regression coming out of Wells. What are you looking at in this game?
I mean, it's two offenses that have just been absolutely. I mean, Minnesota at home versus right-handed pitching. I mean, I made a note of their success versus right-handed pitching at home. You know what? Hell, I'm gonna bring up the stat here. Right-handed pitching at home since the June 12th. Minnesota has a 224 ISO in 314 plate appearances, so a larger sample size. 846 OPS. And Baltimore versus right-handed pitching on the road is also very good. I'll pull up the numbers here on that as well. Baltimore on the road has a 193 ISO and 805 OPS. And then you have the two pitchers, Gray, who has been phenomenal at home. And you have Tyler Wells, who's been very, very good as well. Two great pitchers, two great offenses. I have no way to kind of cap that. There's nothing that makes me feel like Gray is that good to shut down a hot offense, or that Tyler Wells is that good to shut down a great offense. So I stayed off. It should be a fun game. Minnesota absolutely needs to kind of, right the ship a little bit, get themselves going, because Cleveland is kind of catching them. They're kind of coming up on their heels. All-star break push. I'm off of this. It can cap both ways. If you're on the over, hey, I see why. If you're on the under, hey, I see why. But more than anything, it's kind of going to be a good game where I expect there to be.
Wait, why would you see somebody being on the because of how they've been hitting? I got you.
Yeah,
I was just going to say, man, like, as somebody who really caps, starting pitchers a lot, which everybody who follows me knows that's kind of like my MO. Yeah. Bro, you're getting a decent price on Sonny Gray here, which is something like hard to be ignored. But hey, real quick, man, we'll interrupt it for our guy, Jonathan Yim, sitting in the $10 dono, man. Appreciate you, man. Honestly, it helps a ton. Our guy, Jeff Slaughter, he holds down Pub Sports Radio all by himself. And I don't know if you guys know much about having a website like this, having a company like this, a media outlet like this, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. So it helps a ton. Shout out for the dono. Shout out Jeff Slaughter. And real quick, I saw you say it was Cubano. My bad, man. I'm a little bit dyslexic, a little bit slow in the head sometimes. Cubano, I got you. Billy Brez said his best bet, Alexander Volkovsky to land 2+ takedowns. Did I get that right? He's the main event tonight, right? In the fight?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do UFC. You're asking the wrong guy. That'd be a Billy Brez question right there.
There you go. Hey, Nasty Nate said he's tailing. But anyways, back to the baseball here. If you're looking at Sonny Gray, I think you're getting a decent price on a really good pitcher. So I completely and totally understand why you'd be on Minnesota here. Like I said, I'm off this game, but I could see Minnesota as a side.
Well,
yeah,
Rocco
there you go.
brings
See,
up-
BJ just said that's for Moneyline Cab. Gotcha.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Rocco brings up a good point. Sonny Gray has had an issue in the past, a history of left-handed hitter, right-handed hitter splits. That has not been the case so much this year. You look at his innings against lefties and righties, very similar numbers. 124 whip versus lefties, 128 whip versus righties. 40 hits given up in 42 and 2/3 versus lefties, 42 given up versus 50 and 2/3 in the right-handed batter. So that split, that discrepancy, not playing out as much as it has in the past. But Rocco, you are right. He has had that issue with the splits of lefties versus righties. But those also came during times of his career where he legit struggled. When he has that curveball going, when he has that hammer that's going down, that's where you kind of start to see the Sonny Gray that a lot of us expect to perform well. I don't know. Either way, you can go either way on this. You can go Twins, Orioles. I mean, it's just there's so many stats that you can use to back up your play. And when you have a situation like that, it's a stay off.
Man, BJ, shout out to our guy. You know, I'm not hitting all the cash like our dude Jose always does because I don't have it in front of me. But he said 46% of the bets on the Twins line when it opened them at minus 105, moved them to minus 125. So the sharp money is on the Twins here. Orioles opened at minus 115. Plus 105 now, 54.
This is important. Important to state. The reason for that, this is back-to-back start for Sonny Gray. Back-to-back start. His last start was versus Baltimore.
Oh, okay. So he's going against 17.
So that would be why sharp money is on that. They're seeing that it's the same start back-to-back for Sonny Gray. And anytime you see a pitcher, and he dominated them last time, but anytime you see that where a pitcher is facing a team 2 times, the more you have exposure to a pitcher, the more likely you are to get their rhythm, their timing, their release point down. So that would be why I think the sharp money is on the Twins. But it's still betting that the Orioles are going to hit Sonny Gray, and Gray has been phenomenal at home, and that's something that I don't really trust the Orioles to hit Gray at home with how well he's done there.
Man, I wish I could find your Moose call. Shout out to our guy XCal in the chat. He said Moose on the loose. I was gonna play it, man. I'm not the best at producing here. There's our guy Jay Peasy right there. He said, "Let's get that money." Hell yeah, Jay Peasy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, let's go.
I know I said it earlier, but if you can, guys, share it. Let everybody know we're still here, even though Jose's not here. Shout out to our guy Jose. I think he got mauled by a cougar or something like that. Some crazy shit happened last night. That's why he's not here. So we'll keep it moving.
Yeah, pussy problems, you know.
Yeah. The next game here, we got the Cardinals minus 128 going against the White Sox here. Total in this game sitting at 10. I think I saw 10.5 some places. Let me pull that up really quick. Yeah, I think it's still sitting at 10. If anybody else has anything different, just let me know. But I got it sitting at 10. We got Michaelis going on the mound here. He's been one of the most interesting people to cap this year, in my opinion. 4-5 on the season, a 4.51 ERA, 72 strikeouts to the 24 walks, a 1.35 whip. He's been a pitcher that I've enjoyed backing, just not really this year. I've only bet on him once this year. The one time I backed him, he cashed for me. But outside of that, he's been struggling quite a bit lately. And you look at the Cardinals, they're doing what the Cardinals do. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. Even the games where they really put it up with the offense, like the last night against the White Sox, put up 7 runs, still got beat 7-8. You look 3 games ago against Miami, put up the 9 runs, still got beat 9-10. It doesn't. This St. Louis team is just broken from top to bottom, in my opinion. But what are you looking at here in this game?
First off, Jordan Montgomery got an arm injury yesterday, or he had an injury. I'm not sure if it was the arm or not, but he got pulled early. So there was a Cardinals bullpen day yesterday. And the Cardinals' bats looked very good attacking Cease. I thought Cease looked phenomenal early on. He was painting. He was able to execute his 2-strike pitches. But the Cardinals battled. I mean, they had some good barrels. They found some holes. So if you're telling me that the Cardinals' bullpen is going to be pretty active, potentially be pretty – not active, but be pretty thin, and if they have to be active, you're dealing with a thin bullpen, and then you have Chicago's bullpen, which has not been great over the last month, a 5.14 ERA since June 19th. So I like the over here. I'm not going to do first 5 because the first 5 is a 5.5 and the full game is a 10. And Touki Toussaint, a former first-round draft pick, hasn't exactly succeeded at the big league level. I do like the over here. Both teams have been hitting right-handed pitching. The Cardinals have a 272 average versus right-handed pitching. The White Sox have a 721 OPS, 186 ISO versus right-handed pitching. All that stuff screams over. So I am on the over full game 10. Not the first 5. I am over the full game. I'm going to involve those bullpens a little bit and see if I can't get to 11 or more runs.
I like that, especially after you got a taxed bullpen coming in for the Cardinals here. It just, it makes sense. So, yeah, I get it. I'm off this game, but our guy Moose officially on the over 10 here, full game. So I like that. Let's see. Eric Jones said Cards are 1-8 to the under spot. Tom Leach said he doesn't like this game one bit. Our guy, shout out Andrew Carr. He gave you the injury report right there. He said it's a hamstring. So it wasn't an arm injury, hamstring. I guess that's better. BJ in terms said the Sox bullpen is atrocious. Yeah,
in terms of recovery, But the question mark is Michaelis, because Michaelis has been better outside the division in the past, but not recently. You look at some of his recent starts, he's been giving up runs. And you said it. He has been a very difficult person to cap, because there's times where you expect, like, all right, he's going up against the Braves. He's going to give up 10 runs here. And then he shoves because he has stuff. Like, he has legit stuff, but it's just how consistent and how much is he able to sustain that? 6 1/3, 4 runs last game. Before that, 5-2, 6, 5-2. So since June ERA 6.07, and it looks like it's kind of carried over into July based off his last start.
There you go. Mackay said 100% over there. Nice picture, by the way, on your tag. Nasty Nate said Red Sox smash. Shock right there.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news, right? Joey Harb said Cardinals have beat me so many times I'm shook. Yeah, that's what I imagine. Anybody betting on the Cardinals right now is not a fan of that team, I can tell you.
Yeah, I got that first 5 yesterday and got out.
So I tell you, like I said, I've got at least 3 bets that I'm going to give out today. So we'll keep this thing rolling. You got to forgive me if I'm pacing it too fast or too slow, guys. This is my first time running one of these without Jose here. So hopefully the pace is good.
You're killing it.
Appreciate you. I got my dude Moose here. As soon as Jose asked me if I'd run this, I said, yeah, of course, man. Jose's at the doctor. He's getting those anal glands protruded. What is it called? Like cleaned out. So he couldn't be here. So I went straight to my guy Moose. Number one go-to for me right there.
Yeah. There you go. Shout out to Jose's doctor.
Hell yeah. Anybody who has some of the cash, drop it for us. But now we're looking at this next game. We got Colorado, the Rockies, playing in San Francisco here against the Giants. The Giants are a -200 favorite. The over-under in that game is 9 sitting there. Seabold, just terrible. He's struggling. His ERA in his last 3 starts is almost a 15, which is like almost unreasonable to even think about. He's gone winless in each of his last 9 starts. So, I don't like anything about this game. You got Manoah probably going here, or Manaea going here.
No, it's Ryan Walker. It's Ryan Walker.
It's not Manaea. Okay, I capped this.
Ryan might be coming in as a piggyback, but Ryan Walker is starting the game. But Walker is a bullpen guy, so it's kind of ironic. We talked before the game. One of the things we don't see very much anymore are bullpen games, and this seems to be a bullpen game for the Giants.
Yeah, for me, this is one of those interesting games. Like, I would maybe look at a total, or I'd look at the Giants, and there's no other way I could look at it. But right now, the Giants have just been kind of letting down a little bit. Shout out to our guy Joe in the chat. He said, can't back a struggling Giants team at this price, right? It's just a huge fucking number there. Our guy Jack said, where is that? Based on DraftKings, 84% of the cash on the over, 69% of the tickets. So we got some sharp money on the over there.
I don't hate the over at all, but it's just a matter of what Giants offense is showing up, because I thought the Giants had a really good spot against Austin Gomber yesterday, and they didn't really do too much for most of the game. It should be said that the Giants' loss yesterday came on a 2-out 3-run home run, and if they're able to get out of that inning, it's a completely different game. Obviously, when the 3-run home run goes in, it's going to change the schematics of what you're doing offensively. I don't really like this game too much. I don't know what to expect from the Giants bullpen, especially if Minaya is getting in there. I am not a Minaya guy.
I know you go back to your Padres days with him last year.
Well, it's just like it looks like he got infatuated with velocity towards the end of the season when he kind of just stopped caring about the art of pitching and was just more concerned with the explosiveness of his arm. And if that's your focus as a pitcher, focusing more on your arm speed rather than like location and movement, like you're not going to be pitching all that well. And it literally does look like Minaya is more focused on his arm speed and his arm action than the manipulation of the ball. And
right.
The two can go hand in hand. You know, Cab, this is a pitching coach and chat, just to kind of give you a little education on this. If you're focusing on your arm speed and you're just mainly looking at your velocity, that's fine before the season. But once you're in season, you have to have like 90% of your focus on control and movement. And if you're able to manipulate the ball and throw it to specific spots, you're going to be a lot better. Minaya does not do that. Like you will see him miss right over the heart of the plate. He does it way too consistently. I would be on a Rocky team total here, but fuck no, I'm not going to be on a Rocky team total outside of Coors. So this is a pass for me. This is the easiest pass for me on the day. As Dutch would like to say, backwoods this motherfucker.
Right. If I was good at producing, I'd hit the graphic for that too. Yeah, and not to go off on a tangent on it, but I'll say this to everyone, man. Velo don't mean shit. And if you think it does, you don't really understand pitching. It's cool. It's cool to see somebody throw hard, but it don't mean shit. If you can't throw strikes and you don't have movement, it don't matter. If you throw 105 miles an hour and it's flat, somebody's going to tattoo that ball. I promise. Vitalis said he was in the other room. Did I hear Jose? Yeah. Jose, he got arrested last night, so he couldn't make it today. A little public indecency last night for him. Mm-hmm. So we'll keep this one rolling. Easy backwood game, like you said. But this brings us to, my hometown team here, the Texas Rangers, minus 164 favorites in Washington. They had the big win. I think it was 7-2 yesterday. They needed that win pretty bad. Totals here sitting at 10. This is a spot for me in this game where as much as I like the idea of getting behind the Rangers, just like yesterday, I thought the first 5 was a good bet with the Rangers. I'm just treading lightly here. You got Jake Irvin going for Washington, 1-5 on the season, 4.7 ERA, 40 strikeouts, 26 walks. He's been less than impressive. Haney on the other side for the Rangers, 5-5, 4.12 ERA. Haney's last outing against Houston was, outstanding. He went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, no runs, only 1 walk with 8 strikeouts. But the start before that against Detroit got touched up, giving up the 6 runs. Haney's one of those people that kind of hard for me to figure out. I think he'll get it going. But I don't know, man. And he's got a track record of kind of falling off as the season goes on. So what are you looking at here at this one, Moose?
You got to point out the inconsistencies of Andrew Haney. He's coming off of a June of a 5.87 ERA in 5 games started. And you look at what he did to start the year. He didn't start the year well. He had a good month of, he had a good May, 3.26 ERA, but that's sandwiched in between a 4.38 and a 5.87. What's more indicative of what Andrew Haney's about? He's probably more of a 4.5 pitcher. And you look at his expected ERA, 4.73, expected batting average against 243, but expected slug, 437. The weird part about Haney, and your Cab, you're going to like this as a pitcher. Weird part about Haney is that Haney throws his 4-seam fastball 60% of the time and has a whiff percentage on it of 25%. Batting average against his fastball, 195. And his fastball moves above average 6.2 inches above average. And that's a 4-seamer. Like, that's not a 2-seamer or sinker. That's his 4-seam fastball that he only throws about 93 miles an hour. But if there is a lot of movement and you're not controlling it at times and you are kind of inconsistent with it, which is what Haney seems to be, a guy that when he's on can be lights out. But if he is off, and because he relies so much on that fastball, if he's not able to locate that fastball or use the movement correctly, he's going to get touched up a little bit. I like the Nationals team total over for the full game, including the bullpen here for Texas, which has been downright awful. And this is something we've talked about, Cab. The fact that we think that Texas is going to have to get pitching. I don't think Chapman's the answer. Their ERA,
3 innings, no runs so far.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, hey, look, that's fine. But the rest of their bullpen since June 19th, 5.61 ERA. So, recently they have not been pitching well. I would be on a Nationals team total over. I wouldn't necessarily do the full game over because I don't know what to expect from Jake Irvin. Irvin has had some splits here where he's pitched well at home, and I don't know necessarily if that's something I kind of want to go with, including him in any kind of over as well. But I'm not huge on Jake Irvin. I don't know what the Rangers' bats are going to look like kind of going into Saturday, Sunday before the All-Star break. Maybe I'm making too much of it. Nationals team total over would be the only look, but it is priced pretty heavy if you're going to jump on that.
There you go. Cubano said, can't go wrong with the Dolis in there. I think I saw Jonah Heim in there. Our guy Spencer, shout out Spencer, man. He's been killing these home run and RBI props. He said Marcus Semien, Homer plus 360. Shout out all you guys. Yeah, I could see it. AOD said Rangers 4-0 by the fourth inning.
Jack, is that true? Did the Giants Rockies game open at 13.5 and drop all the way down to 10?
Wait, what? Is that true? I didn't have that. I'll look. I don't know.
I didn't see that last. I mean, it wasn't up last night when I was checking. They didn't have Walker registered, so I'm not sure.
Are you going to be on? Well, and everybody, we'll retouch on our actual official bet.
No, I am not on Nationals team total over. It's priced me out. The Nationals team total over 3.5 is minus 140. I would love to be on a 3.5 at like minus 115 or minus 120, but 140 that's just a bit much, and I don't want to include both offenses here. Maybe I would do the a full over here as well, but that'd be the only way I'd look would be a full game over with both teams or a Nationals team total over. But I'm probably just going to stay off of this game.
Right. Hey, shout out to our guy LJ right here. He said Nationals are allowing 6.5 runs last 18 home games. Yeah, so there you go. So what's the Rangers team total at 5.5 run this game? Probably.
Rangers team total is 5.5 at minus 125.
I don't hate it. A lot of juice, but I don't hate it here.
That's a lot of juice. That's a lot of juice. But I mean, you just looking at June for Jake Irvin, 3.48 ERA, and he's pitched better recently. 3.71 ERA on the road compared to the 5.15 ERA at home. Sorry, I flipped those. I think I said he pitched well at home, but he's had some decent starts recently. I mean, he didn't do really terribly even in his last start against the Reds. 6 hits, 3 runs in 6 innings, 3 runs before that, 2, 1. I think it's kind of a sneaky Nationals spot, honestly. I think if you're trying to do something here, it'd be maybe a first 5 Nationals. But I'm not jumping on it. I'm not trying to get in front of the Rangers, but it would be Nationals or an over for me.
I need the Rangers to win this game just because I want them to. I'm not going to lie. I want the Rangers to make the playoffs. I love for people to cast their bets, but I hope they make the playoffs this year. So I'm against Jose on that one. But moving on here, we got the A's. This would be Jose's number 1 spot right here. You got the Red Sox minus 215. The total sitting at 9.5 here. I know that the A's, I guess, could be hoping to head into the All-Star break on a high note, but they don't have anything to look behind. And the Red Sox are still going to try and make that push for the wild card race. I know if they would have lost some of these last few games, they might be in a selling position, but they've been able to win lately. The Red Sox averaging 4.89 runs per game. I think, we got Blackburn on the mound here, right? I got that cap right. Yeah. You got, he's been outstanding, and anybody who's been backing him in the first 5, you've been making money. But Blackburn has allowed 10 runs in his last 3 starts. Mm-hmm. And I think the Red Sox, this is a team that, even though we're just now about at the All-Star break, this is the most important part of their season to date. Like I said, they were on the verge of being a team that was selling here. So they got to keep winning. And, when you got a team like the Red Sox that really need a win going against the A's, I don't really give a shit who's on the mound. I would only be able to look towards the Red Sox here. Not betting this one, but I would look Red Sox. What do you got?
Hey, Rocco, let's go. Let's cash it. James Paxton, over 6.5 Ks. That's what I'm on. James Paxton.
Nice. Okay. You guys are both on it?
Yeah, we're both on the Paxton K prop here. I'm sure Rocco is going to love hearing all the stats that he's probably already looked up for this game. But Oakland versus left-handed pitching, last 250 plus at bats, 28.1 K percentage. Gets a little worse, not exactly like significantly worse, but on the road, it's a 29.2% K rate. Paxton is a guy that has been getting those strikeouts, and I think that's the best play in this game. Is if you're going to attack this, you're either attacking a Red Sox team total because you really can't take a side unless you're taking the A's because the price for the Red Sox is just ridiculous. I don't really know too many people in our community here that bet minus 200s, unlike some other betting shows where they give you their lock of the week by a minus 220. So Paxton over 6.5 Ks. Love it. That's probably my best bet on the day. So if you had the graphic, I would even say that's probably the moose call because I really like Paxton over his K prop today.
Is it probably the moose call or is it the moose call?
It would be the moose call, but I don't want to force you because you don't know how to press the right button here. Look at you. Look at you. Oh man. Hey, LJ on it as well. 5 out of the 6 games he has gone over that mark, and he's at 7.5. I took 6.5. So LJ is on that 8. He's getting more plus monies on that, and I got to respect it. But Paxton, let's go. Moose call of the day.
Hey, Joe said minus 200 games can have value. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I had that conversation the other day, and somebody was like, anyways, I'm not going to go down it, but somebody was trying to argue with me minus 150 can't have value. I was like, yeah, it can, because it should be minus 200 or minus 220. So you can't tell me it doesn't have value when it should be fucking 50 cents higher. So anyways, not going down that. But
hey, highlight Remos.
What do you say?
Go ahead. Highlight the last comment, Remos.
Oh, hey, why you got to Remos all... You got to go at him. Why you got to go at him like that? Appreciate you either way, though, Rim. Appreciate you. Let's see.
Where is Jose, by the way?
Oh, dude, you didn't hear?
No, what?
He's got anal cancer. He's at the doctor.
Oof. Man, getting probed. Well,
let's keep this thing rolling, though, man, because like I said, I've got 3 bets and I haven't even given out one yet. So these last few games, I'm going to have some action in. It's going to get dicey, but let's see if we can't get a bag today, guys. Here we got Pittsburgh going against Arizona. Arizona is a minus 140 favorite. Total sitting at 8.5 on this game. Let me pull this up really quick. I've got multiple things going here. I'm actually showing Diamondbacks have moved down to minus 135 at some places. You got Keller on the mound. I know Jose's got a graphic in there for him somewhere too. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can. Nope, it's in here somewhere. Ah, shit. Anyways, Jose's got his Helen Keller graphic in there somewhere. Mitch Keller on the mound, 9-4 this season. A 3.52 ERA, 125 strikeouts to only 29 walks, which is outstanding. Big time swing and miss stuff. Looks like he's getting ahead of hitters well. A 1.14 whip going against Nelson on the other side for the Diamondbacks. Nelson sitting at 4-1, a 2.76 ERA, 42 strikeouts. To the 9 walks. It's a bullpen day here. We were just talking about this, how we don't see very many of these anymore. Well, you've got one coming here for Arizona. What are you looking at here?
I mean, honestly, it would be the Arizona team total under, but I don't really like to do that with Arizona at home. They've generally been much better at home, but you look at Arizona versus right-handed pitching over the last month or so, if I kind of find them here near the bottom of the list. Where are you, Arizona? But anyway, Arizona they've not been performing as well. There it is. Oh, it's not as bad as I thought. In the last month or so, 259 average, 439 slugging, 765 OPS. So actually kind of similar to what they've done. This game wasn't on the line last night when I was going through it, but I do like Mitch Keller. I think it could be a potentially pirate spot. But it's kind of what are you going to be getting from the Arizona Diamondbacks and the potential bullpen day. Kyle Nelson has not gone more than 1 inning. I take that back. He's gone 2 innings. He's gone 2 innings this year. So you have to look at the Arizona Diamondback bullpen, which since the beginning of the month, Beginning of last month, 3.88 ERA, 215 average against, 303 on base percentage. It's kind of a tough game. You can kind of see it going both ways, very similar to the Baltimore-Minnesota game. I don't really have much of a read on it. I would like to be on the Pirates here, but I do like Arizona at home, where they've been much better. Arizona at home this year has a God damn, I can't find this stuff when I want to find it really quick. Arizona's traditionally been better at home than they have been on the road. And, there they are, 25-23 this year at home versus their similar record on the road. This is a tougher cap. Wasn't able to get a lot of information on it, so I'd defer to the chat here. So if anybody has plays in the chat on this game, hey, throw them out there. Let's see what you got.
We got a late line on this. We got a late line on this, man. This is a tough game. If I'm being honest, I would probably look towards the total. I would maybe be, even with the bullpen going, I'd maybe be looking at the first 5 under. But both teams have been struggling coming into this series. Pirates have dropped 17 of their last 22 games, while the Diamondbacks have dropped 4 straight here.
Yeah, I mean, Keller's been better at home than he has been on the road. There is a lefty-righty split. The Diamondbacks do have lefties in their lineup.
Excuse me, they dropped 4 straight coming into this series. Said that backwards.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of it. That's as Robert Franklin said it the best. It's a lean to the Pirates. I think that's kind of the best way to summarize this kind of cap is it's a lean to the Pirates. Don't know what to expect from the Arizona Diamondbacks and their bullpen. Don't know necessarily what to expect from their offense. When you have kind of unknown variables, I'm just staying off. I'm not going to try to do too much of a dive on this and find something. If I don't feel like it's a good look, if I don't feel like I'm going to be on something that I really, really am good with, I'll just stay off. I'm not going to do that deep dive. But Eric Jones, Pittsburgh, 1-7 to the under when they play as a away team on Saturday, which you kind of always wonder what the days of the week have in their influence in lineup construction and also in their game times when they play. And Saturdays do have fluctuations between afternoon and evenings.
Okay, the way you worded that is interesting. Lineup construction, maybe, a.k.a. Sundays. Outside of that, I don't give a shit what day it is.
Well, specifically this Saturday, because you have Sunday tomorrow. So if you're trying to give some of your guys that are a little bit more banged up, the guys that have played a lot, maybe you give them today and tomorrow with an all-star break as well. I don't have the lineups here in front of me for what's being posted, but if you got Christian Walker in the lineup, Corbin Carroll was injured or is he back? He just came back last night, I think, with his shoulder. So Carroll, I believe, is in the lineup as well. Yeah, tough cap. I'm not going to try to force anything here.
You want to try this one? You want to let him know? John asked what happened to Jose.
Oh, he went on a wildlife excursion, and he got stuck in a tree trying to run away from a couple of squirrels.
There you go. Shout out Sanga. All right, let's keep this thing rolling here. Going into the next one, which is one of the most interesting games on the board today, in my opinion. Just because I'm a Reds fan, I don't know how anybody's not a Reds fan at this point in time of the season. If you're not a Reds fan, I don't know if you like baseball, but
yeah,
you got Cincinnati playing Milwaukee here. Brewers are going to be at home, -120 favorite. Total sitting at 9.5 here. On the mound we've got Weaver and Colin Ray. So both of these guys a little bit unpredictable on the season. I think this is going to be a tough matchup for the Reds here, though. Even with their bad pitching, they've been finding a way to win games, but how long does that last? And I've been one of the biggest proponents with the Reds. I've been saying, they got a young team. They're fun. They're having a blast in their clubhouse. All of these things, point towards, reasons why I think they keep rolling and keep winning. But honestly, at the end of the day, their pitching is just not good, man. They've won 7 of their last 10 games. And it's been all with the bats. And how long can that last? Like we were talking about the Rangers backstage. It's kind of the same thing. Weaver has horrible numbers here. The righty has in June alone, he had a 10.29 ERA. And as bad as the Brewers offense is on the season, they've been hot lately. And I think they're going to put a few crooked numbers on the board. So, and Ray on the other side for the Brewers, he's allowed just 3 runs in his last 2 outings through 13 innings. So just giving up 3 runs in his last 13 innings. And the Brewers have won each of his last 3 starts, so they get behind him. As big of a series as this is for the Reds, I think the Brewers probably take this one, and I hate to say that because I'm, like I said, a Reds fan.
Yeah, I do not like betting on the Brewers, first off. But unfortunately, I do have a bet here, and I am going to be taking. I'm taking the over. I'm going to be on the over full game, and big reason why is because of Colin Ray. I am very familiar with Colin Ray. I've seen him come up as a Padre prospect. I've seen him pitch in multiple organizations, and Colin Ray is your number 5 starter for a decent team. He's not going to be a number 5 starter on your good team, but he's a number 5 starter on a decent team. He is as inconsistent as you could possibly do, or you could possibly be, and you kind of see that being played out this year. April 4.79, May 4.98, June 4.05, and then he had a good start in his last start, 6 2/3, only 2 runs given up. But it is just kind of all over the place. Home run has been an issue, and that is what the Reds have been hitting a lot of recently, especially Elly De La Cruz. He's given up multiple home runs in the month of June. He gave up 2, and the month of May he gave up 4. So I think Ray is kind of that 5th starter that you can attack with better offenses, and that's what I'm going to do here. I'm not huge on Weaver. You said everything that needs to be said about Weaver in terms of just bad pitching on a good team and how long is that going to be able to sustain itself. But I don't know. And again, I don't know if this is going to sustain itself with the Reds offense altogether, but Joey Votto on that team should be an absolute stabilizing force because he's the old veteran that does all the young stuff that can keep those guys going in the right direction because he's very
got
big
a good head on
media.
his shoulders. That's what it is with Votto is he's got the right mentality coming into that team. He's like, I just want to fit in and help them win. And to have a vet say that, that's huge.
Yeah. I think both teams sit here. It's just a situation. You have a really good offense in Cincinnati, a team that plays better at home than they do on the road in the Brew Crew, and 2 pitchers that I just, quite frankly, don't think are very legit arms. That's going to be an over every day of the week, and that's what I'm on here. I'm on the full game over. I got an over 9.5. I believe the 9 is at -120 right now, and the first 5 is at 5.5. So that should tell you all you need to know about what they're expecting from these starters. When you have a 9 paired up with a 5.5 for full game in first 5, that's a clear indicator by the lines makers that they do not trust these pitchers, and they are expecting the bullpen to potentially come in and shut it down. And I got to be honest, I don't know what numbers they're looking at here. I mean, Milwaukee's 3.79 ERA and Cincinnati 4.82 ERA. So, yeah, give me the full game Reds Brew Crew over 9.5.
Got some good information coming in. This is from the chat. Like always, we got the best fucking chat out here. We had just over 200 people in here. Appreciate all you guys, man. If you can, share the video, hit the like, let us know what you're betting. Joe said Reds, Ray versus Reds, June 3rd, 10-8 final. So that would support your over here.
Yeah, but Craig Wood, 97% of money on the over and line drops.
Ooh,
half a run.
That
is not what I like. I do not like hearing that, but that's concerning. That's concerning, but still, I trust my cap. I always do, huh? And that's where I'm going. I'm going to go on the over. If there's smart money on the under, hey, I've been beaten by smart money and I've beaten smart money. So let's see what happens today.
Hey, I like that. I've been beaten by smart money and I've beat smart money. There you go. Shout out to our guy, Mike Wilkerson, coming in, dropping the Twins game over down there. Everybody, let us know what you got. Tom said, give me the Reds. I'll be rooting for you, Tom. I'll be rooting for you and the over there, because I don't got any action. JPZ said that everyone is a Reds fan should give pause. That's right, JPZ. That's why it takes a real capper to say, hey, I'm a fan. I look the other way, though.
Yeah.
And that's what I would do here in this game. So we're going to keep moving on. We've still got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games left that we're going to cap, and I've got bets in 3 of them. So anybody who follows me knows that's a lot out of 6 games for me. Coming up here, we got Philly going against Miami, and Miami's another one of those teams that sure has been fun to watch this year. They're just finding a way to win games. Miami sitting at -108. The over-under at this game is 7.5, so they're not expecting many runs. Phillies are giving the ball to the lefty Suarez on the mound, 2-3 with the 3.67 ERA. For the Marlins, they got Braxton Garrett going, who's been pretty good this year, especially for the Marlins. He's really filled a role that they needed. 4-2. 3.61 ERA. First pitch here is going to be 4:10 Eastern. I think this is going to be a great game here. I think me and you are actually looking at different sides here because I know you like the Phillies, and they're playing excellent baseball, so I get it. And Suarez has been excellent on the road this year. And the Marlins have been a little better at home here. So you got a lot of different ways you can look at this. Marlins have actually at home have been great against left-handed pitching this season. The Marlins are hitting 308 as a team against lefties, slugging 446. And overall, in the last 10 games, the Marlins are hitting 288 as a team and have scored an average of 5.5 runs per game in that span. So really opening it up as an offense here. And Garrett has been excellent in his last 3 starts. His last 3 starts, he's got an ERA under 3. And Marlins at home, they've won 6 of their last 9 games. They've won each of Garrett's last 6 starts and 9 of his last 10. So he's really somebody that they like to get behind. And all that being said is why I would probably be on the other side if I was betting this game. If I was betting this game, I would probably take Miami, maybe the over. I think these pitchers are good. I do not think either of them are great. And 7.5 is an extremely low total for 2 pitchers that I think are just good. If I could get a first 5 at 3.5, I might jump that, but I almost guarantee the first 5's at 4 or 4.5 here because they should know better with these 2 guys on the mound.
Yeah, last game for Ranger Suarez, not great, but his ERA in the month of June, 1.08, compared to Braxton Garrett, like you said, he's been pitching very well. I'm not sure exactly what his career trajectory is going to be, but even in the month of June, 2.22 ERA. 2 guys that are coming off a very, very productive month of June. And so where is the difference between these 2 teams lie? It's in the offense and in the bullpen. The Philadelphia Phillies versus left-handed pitching rank number 2 in baseball with a 216 ISO, 826 OPS, 491 slug, all outstanding numbers. And then hold on, let me scroll all the way down here to the bottom of the list. And you got Miami ranking 30th out of 30 MLB teams in ISO with an 087 ISO against left-handed pitching. But conversely, the weird part, 833 OPS versus left-handed pitching. And they have a 348 average. So it's kind of like they get on base, but they have not been able to score. That's kind of Ranger Suarez's deal. He'll allow you to get on base, but he's not going to let you to score. I do like the first 5 under here as well. I haven't pulled the trigger on that, but that is absolutely something I am looking at. But I am on the Phillies full game because the bullpen discrepancy is it's too much. Philadelphia bullpen since June 19th, 0.99 ERA. And you look at Miami again, scroll way down, and you got Miami at 4.65 ERA with a 268 batting average against. I think that's where this game is going to get decided. It was decided in the late innings yesterday. The Philadelphia Phillies came back in the 9th inning to take the win. And I think this is a first 5 under, potential Marlins first 5 money line, run line, and then a Philadelphia Phillies full game money line. And that is what I'm on. I'm on the Philadelphia Phillies full game money line, and I will very likely be pulling the trigger on the first 5 under as well.
It's not often that 2 people cap a game completely opposite, especially somebody who I agree with 99%. That's why we're doing what we do. I'd be the other way, but I'm not betting it, so I'll be rooting for you. You got a bunch of numbers in here coming in supporting it too. Robert Franklin said Phillies are 6-1 their last 7 games in Miami. Joe said Phillies 12-0 on the road win streak right now. Yeah. Robert said Phillies 15-1 last 16 road games. That's I've been saying it. This Phillies team, I've been saying, watch out for them. They're going to start getting hot and stay there. They're a team that I think is going to definitely be a contender this year. I think they've got all the right pieces. So I get it. So you got the Phillies full game money line in the first 5 under.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be on I haven't pulled the trigger on the first 5 under because the line wasn't available. And when we were starting to do this, I just hadn't got there. But I will be on first 5 under as well.
Hey, that's the first time I've seen Nate say something other than Red Sox smash or Celtics trifecta. Shout out to our guy Nate. He said Marlins smash. Let's see.
Well, I mean, Florida is the Boston of the South Coast, right?
Wait, what did you just say?
I don't know. I was trying to figure out a way to make fun of Boston and Florida at the same time, but it didn't happen.
Dude, that was awful.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not here for jokes. I'm here for caps. All right.
Oh man, boo this man! Everybody,
all right,
well,
let's keep it going. Let's not just stick around and focus on my stupidity, because we'll be here an awful long time if we do that.
For a minute, I'm gonna let it just sit here for a second. No, I'm
just bask in it. Just bask in my stupidity. All right, cool.
Boo this man! All right, we'll keep moving here to the next game. We've got Kansas City taking on Cleveland here. Cleveland a minus 165 favorite. The total sitting at 8.5 in this game. I already remember you said you've got some action coming in on this one, right?
Which one?
You got. I remember your prop.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes.
So it looks like we got Singer on the mound here. I think the Guardians being at home is important for them. I think they've got the pitching advantage here. Williams, he's already thrown against the Royals, and the Royals they're one of those teams. They're kind of like the A's, and with their struggles here, they're not a team that I'd ever be looking to get behind. Singer's just been nothing but inconsistent for him this season also. And I think that's going to show here today. Guardians right now 6-1 their last 7 games against AL Central teams. And between these two teams, this is always an interesting thing to look at. It doesn't play much validity into today, but 46-21 their last 67 meetings before these two teams. So the Royals are kind of the Guardians' bitch, is what I'm basically getting at with that. What are you looking at this game, Moose?
I like Singer. Maybe it's because I had so much success with him in the past, finding spots last year. For what it's worth, Singer is coming off of a good June, 3.49 ERA, and he came off of a dominant performance versus the Dodgers at home in his last start. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. I liked the first 5 under here. I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet because I don't fully trust Singer. As much as I might sing his praises here, I don't fully trust him yet. But I haven't pulled the trigger on that, so not official on that. But what I am on Royals team total under 3.5. Grant Williams he's a stud, man. He's going to be a legit arm. The Guardians, they continue to develop young arms. They just put them out there and are just productive. I mean, last year Tristan McKenzie. This year you got Bibby that's been doing well, and now you got Grant Williams coming into the mix. I do like Williams. It's also a look at their bullpen. The Cleveland bullpen has been dominant, as they almost always are. 3.34 ERA, 212 batting average against. And yeah, I like the Royal team total under 3.5. I got it last night at what did I get that team total under at? Minus 115. So I think it's still at minus 115, but I like the under 3.5 full game for the Royals. And Jose Ramirez, total base prop over. Ramirez had a very good June. He's had very good success against Brady Singer. He's had 8 for 18 with 2 home runs, a double, 5 singles, and he's just crushed right-handed pitching. So Jose Ramirez, total base prop over as well.
Okay, I like it. Shout out to our guy Mickey in the chat. He said he's on KC full game in the over here. Gavin Moose, don't disrespect the man. He's going to be a real stud.
Yeah.
See what Rocco said to you?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, and I think that he's going to be a guy that can just dominate this league. But you can see there are many pitchers that's been said about that is just it doesn't pan out. I mean, Tuki Tucson, who's pitching today.
There's so many levels to pitching, man. It's the head. So many levels to it. Speaking of levels to pitching, this next game, it's got to be a trap, and I bit right into it. Looking at Seattle, taking on Houston here. Houston a minus 125 favorite. I think that's dropped down to minus 120 at this point. Total sitting at 7.5. With Valdez going on the mound for Houston, like I said, you either bet it and close your eyes or you stay away because you think it's a trap. I'm closing my eyes here. Houston, they're in the top 10 in 4 major pitching categories. 2nd in team ERA, 3rd in quality starts, 10th in batting average allowed. So they're just you've been dominant on the mound. You got Valdez on the mound today. This season, the lefty is 7-6 with a 2.49 ERA, 110 strikeouts. and Valdez talking about how good this Houston team is, with their pitching stats. Valdez is leading Houston in victories, strikeouts, and ERA. So, he's the one paving the way for this. And lately they've been all right at the plate, even with their injuries, which has been nice to see them kind of coming out, because Alvarez getting hurt really hurt this team. But yeah, so anyways, Seattle here, they've won 6 of their last 7 overall. They've been beating teams with winning records, something I like to look at. Seattle's won 6 of their last 7 against a team with a winning record. They've got Brian Wu on the mound here. He's 1-1. But, Seattle, his record can be a little deceiving because Seattle's actually won 4 of his 6 starts. And the right-hander has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in 5 of the 6 games. So outside of that first start against the Rangers, he's been outstanding, which is one of the reasons why I say you don't bet somebody on their first start, regardless of who it is or who you think they are. Because since then, he's been outstanding. All that being said, this is not a spot that I'm comfortable with. I'm on the first 5 Astros minus 120. You're giving me Valdez on a money line. I can't turn away from it. And even though, we're coming up to the All-Star break and people are ready for a break, this, that, and the other, the Astros are locked into a race with the Rangers that I think is going to take us deep into the season. And every game is important at this point. So I like Houston here, especially with Valdez on the mound.
Yeah, and Mariners, I think, are also going to try to make a push for that. AL West is going to be interesting. I mean, besides the A's, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens because you also have the Shohei sweepstakes that's going on. I had some stats, I had some notes here, but you know what? I'm gonna just toss these aside. I'm just going to go ahead and read LJ's comment. Astros money line 13-1 last 14 after allowing 8+ runs last game, 17-7 in third game of home series dating back to the second half of last season. And then I'll throw in my own little stat: Mariners losing record after a win, Astros winning record after a loss. So I am on the Astros money line full game. I'm not going to go up against Brian. Woo! I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go for the full game. I really like Brian. Woo! But I'm just going to go with Valdez, who's just been fantastic. I think Rocco put in a K prop on Valdez, and I do not hate that at all. It's very deceiving, his numbers, because you look at what he's got for an ERA of 4.08, which you're like, hey, that's pretty good as a rookie. Expected ERA of 2.72. So I think Brian is going to just continue to get better as the season progresses, and he is going to be another guy, prospect, young arm, that I think could start taking over the league and become more of a household name, just like we were talking about last game. So I'll take full game. Astros money line.
All right, so you got full game. I got first 5 here. Let's see. I saw some people. There you go. There's a stat to pay attention to. Jared said Valdez is 0-4 versus Seattle. Seattle is the play, is what he thinks.
Yeah, hey, I get that, but I'm gonna take Houston at home after a loss.
Yeah, that first 5 over. Anytime you're hanging a 3.5, it's something I'm interested in because either pitcher can give up 4 runs. Both of them could easily give up 2. You give up 2 runs and go 6 innings, it's considered a quality start. So the fact that the total's at 3.5 always interests me. You haven't been seeing those this year. Last year, with the way that the games played, they flew under. So many of the games last year flew under, so the totals were down. This year, it's rare that you're going to see that 3.5 in the first 5 because the game, with the pitch clock and everything, games have just been trending over. So, that's what it is.
And for the K-prop on Houston only strikes out 17.5% at home. So they're much more diligent at home versus on the road. Although on the road they're not crazy, but still at home they've been better. Valdez K-props are always interesting because you don't, if he's on, I mean, which he's been more on this year than off. I mean, dude, he gets outs. I mean, he doesn't focus on the strikeout. He is the type of pitcher that I prided myself on being. If I could get that quick out early in the first couple of pitches, I'm attacking it. But as soon as I get to that 2 strikes, I start going to strikeout stuff. And that's what you see from better pitchers like Valdez. They'll get their early outs. And if they get to 2 strikes, they have that wipeout pitch that they can use. I like Valdez. I don't need to break it down too much more than that. Valdez, Astros after a loss, Mariners after a win, and Houston at home. I get Valdez hasn't had a lot of success against Seattle, but I believe in the playoffs he did. I believe in the playoff he did beat Seattle when they were up there in that deciding game, or at least he shut them out for the first 7 innings or something.
Hey, so I got 2 contradicting things. Mills says Valdez has a 5-0 career record versus Seattle, and then I just read somebody else say it was 0-4. I was reading you guys there. That wasn't information that I had capped in front of me. So one of you,
I didn't have that, but I mean, I do remember it pitching well against Seattle in the playoffs. So yeah, you guys, meet up.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Rocco said he's not 0-4 against Seattle. Okay. Like I said, I didn't think that kind of shocked me when I saw that. But anyways, we'll keep it rolling. I'm on the first 5 here. I got the money line. Here's the big game of the day. I think that most people should be interested in. You got the 2 juggernauts going at it here. Home game for Tampa Bay here. Braves coming into town. This Braves team just continues to roll. 58-28 on the season. Best record in baseball. Just been outstanding. Over the last 10 days, the Braves have recorded 160 runs created plus and a 993 OPS against right-handed pitchers. Just been absolutely dominant. And you look at the other side, Tampa Bay, they've only accounted for 86 runs created plus and a 666 OPS versus right-handers. So this is why I'm just looking at the side here in this game for the Braves. You got Spencer Strider on the mound. He's been excellent the last couple of weeks. I think he had a little bit of a downtrend in the middle of the season, but that's expected for anybody. Spencer Strider still has plus stuff, some of the best swing and miss stuff in the majors. And like I said, he's been excellent over the last couple of weeks. And you put him with the most dangerous offense in baseball. I think Atlanta comes out on top here. So I got the Braves. I took them first 5 here. I went ahead and took them on the run line. Braves first 5 on the run line.
Yeah, dude. Again, we have a theme going here. Really good young pitchers, Strider and Bradley. Dodge Bradley has not pitched to the level that he is going to pitch. I know that his numbers don't exactly look good, but the consensus from everybody that watches him pitch is that, this dude is going to be a stud. He has a 5.27 ERA right now, but an expected ERA under 4, 3.93. Game logs has not looked great. 5 runs in his last, 7 before that. Had a good start against the Orioles. I think it's a brave spot, but honestly, this series just has that feel of a World Series preview, and maybe either team doesn't really want to tip too much of their hand in terms of how they're going to attack the other team schematically. If they're going to I didn't see Acuna really trying to get on the base pass. I'm not sure if he even got on the base pass, but Braves have generally been very aggressive on the bases, and I didn't see too much of that yesterday. I think this is going to be an under type game, but if it starts getting out of hand, I could see kind of one manager or the other kind of say, hey, I'm going to go to my back end of the bullpen. I'm going to give this one up because I don't want them to see some better guys and get them reps versus a pitcher that might be pitching more meaningful innings in the World Series for a World Series preview.
Basically, what you're saying is if let's say the Braves jump out to a 4-0 lead or something like that, you think that the Rays might kind of just take their foot off the gas a little bit?
Especially with the All-Star break coming up. So that's kind of why I'd worry about an under here. But I think if this was in a week, this is a certain under. This is a surefire under, and I'd be all over it. But just with the schematics of how things are right now and where these two teams are and potential thought process of the managers going into this game, this is a game I want to enjoy. I just kind of want to sit back and watch 2 legit pitchers try to carve up amazing offenses, specifically the Braves. I mean, I know you already touched on it, Cab, but 292 ISO since June 12th. I mean, that's a goddamn batting average right there that they got for their ISO power. I could see the Rays, kind of getting to Strider because Strider hasn't been consistent recently. And like you pointed out, tough game to cap. Fun ass game to watch though. And that's kind of how I'm approaching this. That's how I approach some of these, fun games, tough to cap, is I won't force any angle. I like the Strider K props, but the Rays have been good against the strikeout this year. I like Bradley K props because the Braves are not afraid of striking out in terms of going for their home run swing. It's just going to be a good game. That's all I got here.
All right. Well, you just enjoy the good game while I enjoy the Braves first 5 because I need this motherfucker to cash right here. I'm still worried that it's like 8 minutes into the show. We're an hour and 9 minutes into the show. I can cash. I need this motherfucker to cash right here, baby. Let's go. Tom Leach said he's riding the Braves run line, riding the hot hand. Robert Franklin said Braves 11-1 versus teams with winning records. 8-1 in interleague play. That's always interesting to see. Woo, Kenny Woo said he does not think that the Rays make the World Series. I haven't put any thought who I think is going into the World Series.
It's just
yet.
the AL. Who's coming out of the AL that's going to challenge them?
Yeah. There you go. Our guy Rant said over 8.5, but probably pass. Yeah, there you go.
I might look at the Atlanta first 5. I might look at that a little bit more. I'll go back after this. If I make the play, I'll tweet it out.
Shout out to our guy, Mr. Pimp Slap. He said, was that Dabby's play today? I got 3 today, homie. I got 3. I had 3 on Monday, too. Look, I give out what I'm betting my actual money on. I could give a fuck less about giving out picks just to give them out. If I'm going to tell you guys something, it's because my money's on it. And that's all there is to it. So I don't give out things just to give them out while we're up here. But let's keep this shit rolling right here. We got the Angels here taking on the Dodgers. Battle for Los Angeles, I guess you could say. Even though there's not much of a battle, it's the Dodgers. But Dodgers here, minus 140. Total sitting at 9. Angels, they did what they always do. They did what they always do. They made us think that they were going to do something. Then Trout got hurt. Ohtani's got a blister and can't pitch. They lose Renfroe. They do what they fucking always do. They make you think that they're a really good team that's going to compete, and then they get hurt, they lose. This is going to be a tough matchup here to predict in this game. Detmers, I think he could give the Angels a chance in this game. The Dodgers aren't really hitting well against lefties. 220 in their last 10 days with 113 plate appearances. And their lineup here against Detmers is only 6 for 35 with a home run and 4 RBIs. So, I think that this is a spot where he could pitch well against them. But I'm just not interested in backing an Angels team that I think they could call it any day. Any day they could just say, fuck this. They're used to it. Their fans are used to it. I'm not getting behind the Angels right now. I maybe would look at them at plus money with Detmers on the mound today, but because of everything else, I'm off. What are you looking at?
Who's pitching for the Dodgers?
Let me pull that up. I had it earlier, and then we didn't have that when we pulled this up, right?
Yeah, I don't have a line on it. I don't think they've announced a starter for today.
I'm sure they have. Well, no, I don't have it here. I thought I had it earlier. Maybe it switched. No, I only have a line. I don't have a Dodgers starter. Bullpen day for the Dodgers, probably.
Well, Rocco just said it. Detmer's seeing the Dodgers twice in a month, and
there we go. We got a couple people saying that we got a pitcher here.
Michael Grove. Yeah. Don't know too much about Grove, so I can type him into the Savant to see what kind of pops up here on him. Give you kind of a quick cap on him, and 7.02 ERA, 5.09 expected ERA. Good last start against the Pirates, 4 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, but kind of up and down. Had a bad stretch there. Yeah, I could see the over. I could see the over here. I think the over would be the way. I have not done a full cap on this because I didn't know who the pitchers were. So just a quick look at it. I like the over a little bit here. I will go back, and again, if I make a play on it, I will tweet it out. But I do want to say one thing, though, just kind of about the Shohei thing, because I haven't been on screen to talk about it too much. It is a very concerning situation with how the Angels are potentially going to handle Shohei, either not giving him a contract extension and keeping him in LA where he signed initially and where he wanted to be, or if they're even going to get an appropriate haul if they trade him. Because what kind of haul, what kind of return can you get on trading Shohei, who could potentially be one of, if not the best baseball player of all time? And here's the best way to look at it for Shohei. If I said, let's have a fantasy baseball draft using all the players throughout Major League Baseball history, and you get their stats for their career, hitting, pitching, running, everything, the number one pick has got to be Shohei.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that.
So if that's the case, what would you even
with somebody
get?
About that the other day.
Yeah, what would you even get as a return if you traded
He's the best player
Shohei?
in baseball. If you don't like him, get over it. It's just the facts of it.
Yeah, I think
that's all there is to it.
I think he ends up as a Dodger. I do. I agree, Spencer. I do. I think he's going to end up as a Dodger. I think the Angels are just going to completely botch this. They won't get any return for him, and then they won't be able to match the offer that the Dodgers have, because the Dodgers already come out and said, yeah, we got money saved up right now to go get him, so we're not going to do anything this offseason. We'll go get him next offseason. And you look at that lineup, if there was Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani, come on. I know we wax poetically over here about the Padres' potential offense, but that would be the best offense of all time right there, just with those three alone.
Our guy Mike M said he's got his parlay. He's got Miami and the Yankees for plus 240. Shout out to Mr. Pimp Slap Play of the Day, hip to be square right there, Mike M. Our guy Spinny Penny Bomb said Will Smith homer plus the 330. There we go. BJ's pointing out the fact that the Dodgers are seeing Detmers for the second time, talking about what the Brewers did to Abbott yesterday. That's a good point right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got here. We brought it around to the last game of the day. I do have action in this game, so I'm excited to talk about it. Let me pull this up. And this is your home team here in the Padres. We got the Mets taking on the Padres here. San Diego's a minus 164 favorite. Over under here sitting at 8. This is a spot where I was kind of expecting this all season. You got Peterson on the mound for the Mets. This is 11th start this season. He's 2-6 with a 6.61 ERA, a 1.67 WHIP, 20 walks, 53 strikeouts, and 49 innings of works this season. So been an off season to say the least. On the other side, you got Snell. This is Snell's 18th start this season. He's 5-7 with a 3.03 ERA, a 1.26 WHIP, 46 walks, and 121 strikeouts over 92 innings of work. He got his win in the last start against the Angels. He threw 5 innings, allowed no runs, 7 hits, with 4 walks and 7 strikeouts. And that was a 10-3 win over the Angels for the Padres. You look even further in his last 3 starts, Snell is 2-1 with a 1.06 ERA, a 1.12 WHIP, 6 walks, 28 strikeouts, and 17 innings of work. A little bit more on Snell here is his 8th start against the Mets. He's 3-4 against the Mets with a 3.08 ERA, 1.44 WHIP, 20 walks and 46 strikeouts and 38 innings of work. So it's a team he's familiar with here. This is their final season or series before the All-Star break, and we've all had our conversations about the Padres. Are they ever going to turn it on? Who they are, what they are. But one thing I do know is they do have a good lineup regardless of what happens, and I do trust Blake Snell. Blake Snell, this second half of the season, has been nothing but spectacular. Absolutely just outstanding almost every outing on the mound. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to back the Padres in the first 5. I'm taking the run line with Snell. If there's ever a spot that they should fucking win a game, it's today. They've got the pitching matchup. They've got the lineup matchup. The Padres should be the play here. I can't tell you how many times I've said that this year, and they just literally fucking lay an egg, like just shit sheets. All that being said, I think the Padres is the play here. This is my 3rd bet for the day. I'm on the Padres first 5 run line. What are you looking at here?
Yeah, I'm not going to be on anything here. I do think it should be noted that David Peterson, since coming back from his injury, has looked phenomenal. So his last couple of starts, 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs. And then his last start, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It does seem like the Mets are kind of being very cautious with him. Hassan Kim is not likely going to be in the lineup today. He got thrown out at 3rd on one of the dumbest advances to 3rd you'll ever see. Dude is holding the ball in left field, has the ball in his hand, and bad. Kim decides to go to 3rd base. So he got pissed off, went into the clubhouse and kicked a cooler and may have broken a toe. Kim not expected to be in the lineup. Not a huge loss. Padres versus left-handed pitching has been good. Padres versus left-handed pitching at home has been better. So I do like that angle that you're attacking with it. I'd be more curious to be on a potential Padres team total over. I don't know what the Mets are right now because it does look like they're starting to turn it around as well. These billion-dollar franchises.
They do. They do. The Padres don't. The Mets do. Yeah, what Mike just said. It wouldn't surprise me to see the Mets win. Well, no shit.
Yeah, but I think the Padres are doing the same exact thing. I do think it's a Padres spot because Snell has been one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. When he's off, it's walks. When he's on, the walks aren't there, and he gets his strikeouts. He's not a guy that gets hit. Even when he's been poor, he is not a guy that gives up hard hit rates. He's a guy that gives up a hard hit after walking 2 guys. I like the Padres here. I think the the Padres team total could be the look. But really, if you're going for a Mets line, you want to be full game on that. You want to involve that Padres bullpen, which has just been downright awful. They have lost a significant amount of games, but when they come in, the Padres bullpen, 6.38 ERA the last few weeks, and they have been just atrocious. Hader is the only guy that has been usable in that bullpen. Outside of him, Luis Garcia, trash. Cosgrove has been meh. Nick Martinez has been just terrible. They brought up, they brought up a rookie reliever to come join the bullpen. So the Padres bullpen is an absolute mess. Preller's going to have to do something to fix that, and I don't trust him to make the appropriate move because he doesn't know how to make trades. I mean, just flat out, he's made one successful trade in his entire career to go get Tatis. Every other trade has been trash, has been terrible. So, that ran aside. I do like your Padres first five. I do think the Padres team total might be a play here. I think the over could also be in play here as well. It's decent weather. It's great weather out here. Not great for offense, but really if you're having a pitcher that might be struggling in a bullpen, that might be just one of the worst in baseball, the over would be the look. Padres first five, team total over, full game over. Those would be the only looks. I'm not on any of them.
Right. All right. Mike said, I'm blowing Snell. Well, look at what it's done, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In his last 8 starts, he's gone at least 5 innings in every single one of them and given up a total of 4 runs combined.
Yeah, but there will be bullpen. There will be bullpen play. So if you're on the Mets, I think it'd be a prudent strategy to let the Padres get a lead and then take a run line money line. Because hell, you look at last night, Padres had a 3-0 lead. And slowly but surely, Mets came back, and then they got to that Padre bullpen, and Nick Martinez decided to forget where the strike zone was and ended up walking people in. And Mike's saying under with his K today. Yeah, I mean, the Mets have been very good offensively as well in limiting how many strikeouts they're getting, improving your walk
under. Padres first 5. I already told you guys where we're at.
Yeah, it's if you have a low K rate, high walk rate, you are generally going to have success as an offense. And that seems to be where the Mets are going. So I'm going to leave it there.
No. What started it all is he said he could see the Mets winning. I was like, oh, really? In a game with fucking 2 teams, you could see one of them winning? Good
right.
Guy. Shout out to Mike. Regardless of our go back and forth, Mike's one of my favorite fucking cappers out there. One of the most profitable you're going to find, too. Anyways, we've gone through a shit ton of games today. We didn't have Jose. He'll be back. He just had to go get that anal cancer checked out, whatever it was he had. But he'll be back. Moose, I love capping with you, man. It's been too long. You got anything for this chat before we wrap it up and get out of here?
I mean, everybody in the chat needs to be following each other. So if you're not following, the pimp slap, if you're not following guys out there, Damon, what's good, man? Haven't seen you in a while. So if you're in the chat right now, go ahead and drop your Twitter handle in there as well, because we need to all support each other. That's one thing in this community that separates us from a lot of other handicapping communities, is that we all push and support one another. We don't have a lot of assholes out there that are just, that's a terrible play, Cab. How could you even look at that play, Cab? It's support. So if you're in the chat right now, just go ahead and drop your Twitter handle. If you haven't followed me on Twitter at Moose Money Bets, follow me and let me know, like, hey, follow me back. I'm not the guy that as soon as somebody follows me, I follow them back. But if I recognize you, if you're sending me a message like, hey, what's up? Boom, instant follow. And we need to support each other.
Follow me. I won't follow you back, but hit me up, guys.
Well, you know what I mean, because we all get those random people that'll follow you, like Alex0712453344 that starts following you, So just let me know, hey, Pub Sports, let's go, like immediate follow back. So that's the message for everybody out there in the chat. Let's all support each other. Let's all come together and let's all beat the bookies out there. Let's go.
Hell yeah, bro. BJ said he's out. He's got Yankees 2 units, Braves 2 units, and we all know his units are large. Lean Padres, haven't bet it yet. Let's get that money, BJ. And Mike M said his favorite spot is when he guesses Jose's play, then tells him it's bad before Jose even gets to his. Oh, are you talking about me? Man, do I really do that? I don't feel like I do that. Jose says I do that. I don't do that much. It's just because I already knew he's gonna bet the fucking Red Sox. He's gonna bet the Red Sox. He's gonna bet the A's. He's gonna bet the Royals. Anyways, shout out to you guys. Moose, recap that action real quick for us. Throw it at us.
Shit. All right. I got the Chicago Cubs, New York Yankees under 8, Cardinals, White Sox over 10. Jose Ramirez total base is over 1.5. Kansas City, Cleveland first 5 under 5. James Paxton, K-Prop over 6.5. First 5, Philadelphia, Miami under 4. Philadelphia full game money line. And I also got the Kansas City team total under 3.5 and Astros money line.
Beautiful. Told you guys Moose would bring the heat. Plenty of action. You know what? This is a lot of action for me here too. So I got Astros first 5 money line -120. I got the Braves here in the first 5 on the run line -105. And then I got the Padres in the first 5 on the run line -114. So I got those 3. Chang Kim just asked what our top action is. Those 3 bets, man. I know you I don't know if who's new and who's not, but if you turn into some shows, they'll give you a couple of their bets and then like ask you to buy their fucking shit or something like that. We don't do that, man. I don't have any bets that I didn't give you. Those are the 3 bets that I've got, win or lose. I'm not going to go make any secret bets and tell people that it's a special one or anything like that. Those are the 3 bets I got, and I fucking hope.
Oh, Kev, I love those tweets. Like, hey, I won those 3 bets that I didn't tell anybody about, so my ROI is plus. You know what? Here, you know what, Chang? I'm gonna give you a little taste here. Moose Call. My favorite play of the day is James Paxton over because you look at the K rate for the Oakland A's. Versus left-handed pitching, specifically left-handed pitching on the road, 29%. James Paxton over K, and that's my Moose Call play of the day. So there you go.
Moose Call play of the day.
Hey,
as you
BJ,
get out of here,
call.
guys, do us a favor. Hit that like button. Let Jose know you missed him. Check in on him. Make sure he's doing okay because I know something crazy happened. But shout out to you guys, man. BJ, Mike, AOD, Andrew, appreciate you, man. Chang Kim, Damon Santora, Joey. I hope I hit everyone, man. If I missed you in the chat, we don't do it on purpose. But let's get that fucking money today. Hey, do us a favor today if you can. Leave some comments. Like I love seeing the live comments. Leave some comments after the show. Help us get in the algorithm out there. Let everybody know you found a show that doesn't try and sell you shit, that just gives you their bets and analyzes the games. But until next time, enjoy the All-Star break. We fucking love you guys. We're out.